and Max's.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, another road edition coming to you today live from Burt and Max's at the Delray Marketplace in West Delray, and we are joined for the first time. She's usually lurking in the shadows when we're doing these Rapoport Restaurant Group shows, but Amber Pollitt, Director of Marketing and
NPR.
Nice.
for working with the great Burt Rapoport, who could not join us today. But I'd say this is a pretty good substitute off the bench, out of the bullpen. Amber, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. It's
Happy New Year.
a blistery, winter day here in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida. Oh, we got a wind chill factor of 71. That's really
the rest
tough.
of the country is bracing for like a blizzard.
I know,
so
yeah.
guess
They
we'll
all
deal
are
with
getting a
this.
little worse weather than we are.
It was a little blustery. I mean, actually, the wind was howling outside my windows
My
last
car
night.
was moving.
It
on the
felt
way
like, kind of tropical storm conditions, only without the rain. And
here. Thankfully, no blizzards.
yeah,
Right,
we got-
exactly.
we got overcast skies here, but it's always a great time to come out to the patio here. We're set up outside because
Covered.
it's al fresco season in South Florida.
Our favorite time of the year.
Mike Lubie, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling much better. The weather won't keep any of us down, and definitely looking forward to another great experience here at Burt and Max's.
Yeah, and our buddy Buddha is off today, I guess,
gonna
after
miss
the
him.
whole holiday rush.
Yeah.
That you actually give your managers time off. That's kind of very generous of Burt.
Occasionally.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been working very hard
Yeah.
during the holiday season. It's been a little bit nutty. Later on in the show, I'm really excited. Waiting in the wings now is Shayna Weisoff, who definitely is going to brighten the whole scenery here, certainly more than Lubie or myself
or me,
in our faces. But Shayna is a blogger, noted blogger, cover girl of magazines up here in Palm Beach County. But Shayna Weisoff runs the Take a Bite Out of Boca blog. She also has a podcast that I was honored and privileged to be her first guest. So now I guess we're returning.
you got to return the
She's
favor.
returning the favor, and we're going to have her on and talk a little about the local food scene going on in southern Palm Beach County. But before we get to Shayna, we want to talk to Amber about the goings on here at Burt and Max's and the entire Rapoport Restaurant Group. What's been going on? How has the holiday season? Business been
Holidays were crazy. I know with, a lot of the restaurants in the area, it was kind of slow leading up to Christmas, but
good? Had a little
that week, I would say,
Thanksgiving, little
yeah,
Beacon
exactly.
Valley, but it's okay.
I would say that week, like the 22nd, when, schools were out. And
Everybody was here.
gangbusters after that. So
The whole
it was,
Northeast was here, giving
Oh,
us
yeah.
all their viruses and
Oh,
colds.
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
coughs
another
and-
thing too. People are now, getting a little sick and calling
I don't want to
out
blame
and
it on the
stuff.
snowbirds and the travelers, but it's all
I
their
will.
fault. They know it.
I will.
And if you're one of them, I mean,
We were all healthy.
I was fine until the last 2 weeks.
Lubie and
Exactly.
his wife have been battling some ailments the last couple of weeks,
Yep.
but you're on the mend.
We're on
Your
the mend
voice
now. Yeah,
sounds
we're fine.
much better. I mean, your voice is
For
still
me.
your voice,
Yeah, for
but
me, yeah.
which is why we love Lubie. And of course, we've got Jeff DeForest is still battling some issues. We send him get well wishes, but he's going to be fine. Hopefully, he'll be
good. I'm gonna
heading
be back
home
tomorrow.
soon and addressing. He's got some foot issues, and he'll be on the mend. I don't know how his tennis game is going to be for the next couple of months. And then, of course, a friend of the show, Jim Sarney, is like one floor below him at Holy Cross Hospital. He's got something. This is weird, and I don't mean to violate any HIPAA or anything, but he has a virus. It's called rhinovirus.
Was that real?
It
That's really what it's
apparently
called?
somebody says it's just the fancy name for a common cold, but apparently when you get a severe case of rhinovirus, and it's not coronavirus, it's not norovirus, which you get on the cruise ships. This is the Mayo Clinic portion of the Lunchbox
yes,
show.
well.
But apparently he went to urgent care and was having trouble with his
Yeah,
respiratory.
breathing. His oxygen was low, he said.
And so they admitted him, and he's getting some supplemental oxygen for this rhinovirus, which I don't know. I would say stop hanging out at the Palm
Yeah,
Beach
the
Zoo.
zoos. Yeah, exactly.
All right. good wishes and get well soon to everybody. Amber, what is going on here? I understand this is a big, busy week for you guys, right?
It is. We got a couple new promotions too, starting off the new year. Burt and Max has recently launched kind of like a early bird, if you will. We don't call it that. I don't think anybody uses
I
that
would
term
call it
anymore.
value dining.
Yes.
Value dining for the early hours,
Yeah.
which is Monday through Thursday from 4 to 4:45, and it's a buy one get one half off entree.
Monday through Thursday, 4 to 4:45 p.m. You must be seated by 4:45 p.m. They're like me with the Lunchbox Gulfstream contest. If you come a minute late, I mean, as much as they like to be hospitable, and Buddha, the general manager, Steve, likes to, you got to put rules in place.
Yeah.
But what happens for those people who show up at that golden hour?
Buy one entree, you get the second one half off.
That's a pretty good deal.
So.
And again, this is at Burt and Max's. This is West Delray. It's west of the Turnpike. For those of us who live in Broward, like Lubie and Coral Springs, it's really easy to get to.
Yeah,
it's
it
actually
doesn't take any time. It takes me less than 20 minutes.
Yeah, because it is right off the Turnpike. It actually takes me less time to get here because of its convenient location than some places like in Aventura or anything
that aren't even far from you
in
yeah,
Miami,
exactly.
which is like 8 miles from my house, opposed to here is like 30 miles from my house. But when you whiz up that Turnpike and get right off, it's really convenient. And I have a couple friends who have checked this place out in the last couple of months, including our friend Brian from Wicked Cheesesteak, who said he came up here, he had a good meal, and so
awesome.
Come check it out and come get the good values with the early dining deal.
And if you're not into early dining, on the other hand, we just launched a couple of live music nights.
Nice.
We're testing it out. We may continue it. It may be a regular thing, but right now we've got Friday, January 12th, Friday, January 26th.
Okay.
And then I believe we're going to do Friday, February 9th.
Right before Valentine's Day. Okay.
So 8 to 10 p.m. out on our patio here. It'll be in the corner, so kind of views from. Do
you know what kind of music, or it's just going to be? Oh, it says the Bruja Band. I don't know what they do.
Is kind of like a rock with, I guess, funk and blues infused. Both of these bands play at deck. Just very cool, casual. Like you can hang out and have drinks. They're not going to be jamming loud and. It's just kind of cool that you can hang out, have some drinks, have some dinner.
And again, this is the time of the year where everybody wants to be outside.
Exactly.
And why not have some good vibes and good music going? And that's going to be on Friday nights. And also on Wednesday night, as part of the whole Delray Marketplace, for those who aren't familiar here, right beyond where the patio is, there's an amphitheater. And what happens?
Views
from our patio. Right here.
Yeah.
They just put some AstroTurf down this year as well, so that's all nice and clean. But every Wednesday from 6 to 8, they have live music, and that is hosted by the Delray Marketplace.
That's cool.
That's the Marketplace. The complex has their own music series going on Wednesday nights, but if you sit outdoors here
you should be able to see
at the patio,
nice
you could sip your drink, your cocktail. Like I've got my little lemonade and vodka. Thank you very much. Dry January remains a much elusive.
Defeated.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Who is she?
Lubie's doing well today. He's just got the lemonade plain. But thanks. But great place to come out here, have some dinner on a Wednesday night, have some dinner on a Friday night, check out the live music and the scene. And this place, it's a lively. Is there a movie complex in here or no?
There is a movie theater at the other end, Frank's.
Okay.
Frank's.
So again, it's
Paragon. I'm sorry, it used to be Frank's.
Yeah.
Paragon is the new owner.
Everything keeps changing,
I know.
but
they did a wonderful renovation. Shayna, recently, you've been and hung out with the Paragon people, so she can tell you more about what. I haven't gone to a movie there lately. The movie theater and the new IMAX and all that stuff. So
nice.
Very nice.
All good up here in Delray, and of course. Well, I guess we're going to have some food in a minute, which we always love. But is there anything new going on the menu lately? Or I know the seasonality we always
we did the big menu change in November, but we did add on a loaded keto burger for the new year, which is kind of our first, step into that keto diet.
Keto
we haven't really had anything that was really specific.
What do you think, Lubie?
Well, we ordered it just because Mayo's the king of keto.
My middle name is keto, except when I ditch the diet after 2 days because I desperately need a piece of bread or pasta because it's so comforting. But again, for those who are watching their carbs.
Yeah, it's a new year.
So it's like a lettuce burger. Well, we're going to see it in a minute, right?
Well, it's going to have lettuce on the sides. So you can make it as like a lettuce burger if you want, or you can just kind of like chop it all up.
Fork
but it's
and
just
knife
like a burgerless.
I'm not a fork and knife guy. I like to wrap things and
you can put it on the lettuce if you want. But it's got cheese and bacon.
Meanwhile,
then-
something smells great here. Is that onion rings? I keep smelling onion rings, and I think
Maybe.
I
I don't know
got
who's
something in
over
it
here.
that the odors wafting through the air here is
Yeah.
just very, very delectable. Oh, and there's something else coming up this weekend, which is kind of a tradition for our man Burt Rapoport, who couldn't make it
Oh, yeah.
today. But he went to a high school in Long Island. Long
So, yeah,
Island.
Long Beach High School.
Yeah.
Bert graduated in 1967. Don't tell me.
We don't want to give the years. Did I want to mention that in 1967 I was 1?
I wasn't
alive.
even a twinkle.
I was
in my
negative,
parents' eyes.
15.
I was born
Yeah.
in 66.
But every year, Burt and Max is, I think, since 2015, which is like a couple years maybe after they opened here, we've been hosting the Long Beach Day, which is like a Florida reunion for Long Beachers. So
Oh,
whether
I
you went to
assume-
high school or you just lived there, you're welcome to come.
Oh,
and
cool.
Right.
it was upwards of like 300.
Right,
people.
because
Oh,
I
wow.
think just about by law, everybody who went to high school at Long Beach High
moved
is
here.
compelled to move to South
Seasonal
Florida.
Or
or
Boca, not even South Florida, but
long-term,
Boca del
Boca
Rey.
del Rey.
Yeah. No, but that's great.
So-
I can't imagine a crowd of
Yeah.
300 high school. I've never gone to my high school reunion.
Again,
been,
it's not just high school
Right.
people; it's a mix.
People who are in that
people
area.
who
Yeah,
lived
yeah.
in Long Beach,
yeah.
and it was a great beach town. I used to, I believe, maybe I got it wrong. I got to look it up during the break. But Long Beach is right next to this Atlantic Beach in Long Island. That's with the
Yeah,
bridge where
familiar.
they shot the scene in The Godfather where they shot Sonny.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
a very famous scene. There was a bridge that's in the Long
There you go.
Beach,
Yeah.
Atlantic Beach area. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I love that movie, and I use it
So
as
we
a
were
reference
talking
guide.
before the show about season. Is it here? Is it not here? What have you guys noticed so far here? Because it feels like, and I know that week between the holiday and New Year's, everywhere just got hit hard.
Yeah.
Have you? I walked in here, and I mean, we've been here a few times, and there's always a nice crowd, but it just felt different. Has it felt different? Just in this, you bounce around between Boca del Rey.
Definitely, yeah. Since like December, like I said, December 22nd, it was just like since then, just boom,
Boom.
people are here. So
Yeah. Hello,
I think they're
the world's
definitely here, whether they were just visiting for the holidays or all the snowbirds are definitely back down now. It took a little longer this year than in past
Yeah,
years.
no, it seemed like, they were slow to arrive, but when they arrive, boy, they all get here in a
Yeah,
hurry.
and you feel it.
yeah.
And the traffic.
The
and
traffic,
and the-
you
yeah,
feel
for
it,
sure.
you see it. And again, people need to be patient. We simulcast the show on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group, and it is a love-hate relationship by me and some restaurateurs.
Oh yeah, they're always commenting
Uh,
about those.
It
out-of-towners.
keeps growing by like 2,000 members a week now. It's
Crazy.
insane. It's over
Did you guys
135,000.
auto approve all of those, or do
No.
you actually go
well,
through?
there are
No, there's that
bots.
whole thing.
There are things that
Set in
if
place.
people meet certain criteria,
It automatically
then
does it.
they get approved for membership. So again, over 135,000. But some people go on there, and I try to tell people, this time of year, you need a little bit of patience. You need a little bit of understanding and context, and realize that if you're going to go to a restaurant on a Friday or Saturday night, obviously everything should be run in smoothly and tip-top shape. But sometimes things go a little bit slower than you want. And particularly now, I know that a lot of these viruses and illnesses are going around and are
that
hitting
does affect staff.
chefs, the back of
Yeah.
the house, and the cooks on the line, and the front of the house. So that it might take 40 minutes for an entree to come out on a crowded side. And I just wish people would be understanding and do what I do, which is order yourself
Just
a
get
cocktail,
another drink.
go with a good crowd, have a conversation.
Well, that's
if-
where sometimes you run into the issue too, where like the front of house is like, all right, you got to stop seating. Like, kitchen needs to catch up. We're
Mhm.
behind 20 minutes. It's crazy. But then customers are seeing empty tables, and they don't
Right.
understand why they can't sit there. But it's just like it's a whole process. Like once you get seated, you want to get your drinks, and then if you don't get your food right away, even if you say you're okay with waiting at
Right.
the table,
It's
you're like, well, I
Yeah.
sat there for an hour and I didn't get my
Exactly.
food. So
I obviously been around the industry and business. I
Yeah.
understand these things. So many people don't. Like you said, when they come in and they say, "Oh, I don't have a reservation," they see half the tables empty, and they say, "Sorry,
I
we're
can't
going to
sit
have to. It's a 20-minute wait." And they have to understand that there's reasons for that. Number one, there are people with reservations that are in maybe 20 minutes and a half hour that most of the
You have to
seats
keep it
they're
open.
looking at are spoken for.
Yep.
Yep.
And then the other ones, if you loaded them up, it would set that whole chain of events
Back.
where
Right.
everybody gets backed up. So you have to have that kind of rhythm and flow and
pacing.
pacing.
Yes.
But everybody out there now is in an instant gratification world, but
Yeah.
I get my instant gratification from the cocktails from the bar. So chill out until your things show up. But anyway, you guys here, of course, I never hear much in the way of
No,
complaints
everyone
about
seems
that
happy for
because
They're
Really?
big reservation. I mean, the customers themselves are pretty big on reservations, and they know during season that you got to have a reservation if you want to come and sit at 6:30 or 7 o'clock or whatever.
Yep.
So they're pretty well oiled here at the.
it's all good. Meanwhile,
Right.
I smell and see food has been
Yeah.
placed in front of us. You want to take us through what we got here?
So we
And I'm
ordered
gonna
a
nibble on-
couple classics. So the calamari been on the menu for a long time. We got the peppercini, the fried zucchini with the calamari, and then you got I think it's a little of a spicy marinara. I can't
Mhm.
remember with a tartar sauce or I
Gar-
believe on the
is
side.
tartar?
Or is an
okay.
aioli? I'm not.
Usually,
All the restaurants have calamari, and I can never remember which ones
I'm
have
going to
which
say
side
this
dishes.
looks like a tartar sauce, but maybe it's a garlic aioli.
Might be a garlic.
I'll be the judge of that in a minute. And what else we got?
The front here is the classic onion soup dumplings. Again, something that's been on the menu since they opened. It's one that everybody remembers when they come here. I mean, it's usually one of those ones that you have to order when you sit down. So it's always a
They
good
look
starter.
great.
I don't think I've had them
Yeah.
yet.
You haven't?
Ha-
Oh my
you have or
gosh,
have
please.
not?
I don't think I've had. I don't think we've had them.
Um,
Then you got to get a little extra juice.
Yeah, you
with
got
the
the
I think
soup
Burt was
there.
withholding them from me because he knew what kind of
Make a slob and
massive
ruin
damage
it.
I
Yeah.
could
They're
do.
also, they're not the prettiest, but they are delicious.
Yeah, but they look fantastic.
And then
People-
the
Yeah, go.
There's
Yeah,
the
sorry, I was gonna-
aforementioned.
aforementioned keto burger on the I guess would be the left of the screen. So it's got the cheese with the bacon on top of the burger patty, and then you do have a big, thick lettuce there if you do want to make that into a sandwich, or just kind of eat it fork and knife
I'll be
with
playing
a
with
side of spinach.
I'll be
And then the last item is our yellowfin tuna poke bowl. You can have the choice of doing it over jasmine rice, or you can do a spinach arugula mix if you want to, forego the
If you wanna
rice
be
and get a
even
little,
healthier.
a little healthier. Little fried onions on top. So again, if you want to go healthier, you can always do without those. But otherwise, everything's, it's a mix of cabbage, tuna, edamame, carrots, avocado.
And this is all on the regular menu that's
All on the
available
menu, yep.
for lunch and dinner
Yep.
every day here at Burt and Max's. Some of your just regular special, you've got the happy hour all day at the bar in the High Tops, right? That's going
Yeah,
from
so
when to
open
when?
to 6:30
Okay.
daily at the bar in High Tops, and it's
Uh-oh. We're
the
gonna-
discounts change, but pretty much everything on the menu is discounted. It's not exactly half off per se, but it's close to. It's like
Wow, this
probably
feels
like
like it's
40 to
gonna be a mess.
50% depending on the item that you get.
gotta take my
We do
vote.
have a bar bites menu, but that's available Monday through Friday from
Okay.
3 to 6 at the bar. But that's
Oh,
some
look at
pretty
this.
like
Oh, Jesus.
$5 to $12 items on there. So
Oh, good. And I'm going into these onion,
soup in there.
soup dumplings. I've never had it. It's the way it's served, like the little escargot and these little
Yeah, I like the
little soup and
cups.
the cheese melted on top. I assume it's like a Swiss
We
I'll
have
let
Gruyere.
you go first,
we have
so
to,
both of us don't have our
I'm
mouth
going
How
full.
this
into
goes.
this. While I'm stuffing myself with this, why don't you also tell us about stuff going on a little bit east of here on at Deck 84?
Yeah.
Next month they're having the Beatles on the
This
beach
week,
festival.
this month.
This
So
month.
January 27th is a Saturday. If you don't know, there is a Beatles on the Beach festival that they do host every year. And this year, Cheap Trick is headlining it, but they're going to have a bunch of just, Beatles themed cover bands and just other, entertainment and stuff going on throughout the weekend. And Deck 84 is hosting a Beatles brunch. We're going to have live music from 2 to 5:30 that day as well. So post brunch live music with Melody Road.
Okay.
They haven't played at our restaurant yet, but they are a Beatles focused 60s, 70s. So
Nice.
definitely going to be playing all Beatles during that day.
And actually had some involvement. Dan Hartwell is the promoter who
Mhm.
puts on the Beatles on the beach. He's a freakish Beatles fan.
He's all the
and-
costumes,
but
everything.
He also is faithful to other kinds of rock music and
Yes.
getting Cheap Trick as the
Huge.
headliner this
Yeah.
year. I don't know if Cheap Trick's going to perform any
Yeah, I
Beatles
didn't
tunes,
understand that, but I don't know.
but at least you'll get "I Want You to Want Me." Live at Budokan was one of the classic albums of the late 70s. I don't know if anybody remembers that out there,
Yep.
but I remember in my high school days, Cheap Trick was huge, and that's going to be great to have him. And again, having Deck 84's involvement with the Beatles themed
Yeah.
brunch is going to be a lot of fun. Were you a Beatles fan there?
I mean, I appreciate them.
I like the
my
Beatles. I like their
parents were
music.
huge Beatles fans.
Beatles or Stones? If somebody, if you had to
My
pick
parents,
one.
yeah, they weren't really Stones people. They were Beatles people. Like
Okay.
Beatlemania was a big deal when my
I was
parents
the
were growing
Who.
up.
the Beatles, Who, and the
So
Stones.
I know
would
more the
take Who.
Beatles than I do the Stones, but
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
But I would love
I
to
think
see
that
the
fest
Beatles
sounds
now,
really cool.
especially since half of them are dead.
yes,
Well,
it would be miraculous.
Anyway, so that's coming up. And then, of
Mhm.
course, we've got Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Yeah, so
What do
we
you got
just,
going on?
I mean, every year we just kind of do a very simple a la carte menu. So there's nothing you're locked in with a prefix or anything like that. So you can order what you'd like. But the chefs do put together a really nice chef special menu in addition to the ones that they have in house. So they'll have all of those probably available in the next week or so. But everyone will be open and taking reservations.
All good.
Yeah.
Yeah, go online, check it out, make your reservations now. It's never too early to plan for the big
about a month
romantic
out,
day. It is
so-
going to be on a Wednesday night this year, which is
Yep.
good for you guys because it'll make the whole week.
Yeah,
Exactly.
nice.
Everybody,
visual
will
spread out.
trickle in after the
Yeah.
weekend.
And these soup dumplings
These are
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
absolutely
What do you
delicious.
think?
These are
Not
fantastic.
keto friendly.
No,
but
none of the bread. Yeah.
That's
They're
okay.
really good.
The wonton
Very,
wrapper.
very
Those are
comforting.
really good.
Amber, thanks so much for stopping by. We're going to take our first break so we can start having a little chat with Shayna because she is sipping her white wine very patiently
Looks
there.
like she needs a refill.
Yeah, she might be ready for one. I'm sipping this one very smoothly. But before we get to that first break, let's talk about our friends at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market down in Hollywood. It is the time of the year where, okay, it's post-holidays. Maybe you're done with your holiday entertaining, but look what's coming. Football playoffs.
Yep.
And if you're not the one that wants to go out to a sports bar to watch all your games, including the Dolphins this Saturday night, how about going into Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market and picking up some delicious, gorgeous fish, seafood, stone crabs, house-made sausage, steaks, poultry, wings on the grill, thighs on the grill, breasts on the grill. They've got it all because Delaware has been doing it since the 1950s. And they have been in the current location since 1962. Doug Carter and his cast of characters will take great care of you. 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. And again, for home cooking, parties, and even for picking up grab-and-go stuff, the fish dip, the broasted chicken. They'll make oyster platters for you. Just go online, DelawareChicken.com for all the information. They got the weekly specials and the daily offerings online, DelawareChicken.com. Go in there. They're open every day. And just tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All righty, coming up next, more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox right here from Burt and Max's in Delray.
Thanks, Amber.
What's Delray?
This is Grill at Meisner Park in Boca Raton, located at 404 Plaza Real. Since 1991, delicious modern American cuisine in a stylish yet casual setting. The outdoor patio and lively bar is the place to see and be seen at Meisner. It also features a sushi bar and a dry-aged steak program. Don't miss their long-term signature dishes like radiatore pasta and bacon-wrapped meatloaf. So good. Open daily with live music Wednesday through Saturday evenings and a great weekend brunch. For reservations and more information, go to maxsgrill.com. Comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Thanks for being here on a lovely Tuesday. A little bit windy, a little bit overcast, but every day brightened when we're at Burt and Max's, first talking to Amber Pollitt, and now gives me great pleasure to introduce for her Lunchbox debut somebody who I've known a long time. I have been on her podcast, graced as the first guest invited on, and Shayna Wizoff. Take a Bite Out of Boca is your blog, and the podcast is still going.
Take a Bite Out of South Florida. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome.
Happy to be on the show with you.
I think everybody out there is happy to see you because you are certainly a lot better looking than one Chef Defo DeForest, who is absent. But again, thank you. What's been going on? Happy
to hear. Oh my God.
Tell me what's going on in your life. I know that you always are going around to all the different restaurants. What does the dining scene look like for this season?
I feel a little bit out of touch. I've been traveling a bit. So the last couple months, I kind of feel like I haven't gotten to a lot of the new places that have opened up yet.
But I saw you at Fiolina's.
Yeah, Fiolina. So I have been to Fiolina's, which gorgeous.
New Italian place opened by Fabio, the Michelin star chef.
His name.
What's his last name? Tedecchio.
It's a lot of letters. it's a lot of letters. It's Italian.
It's in that whole new complex, this restaurant road that they built by Town Center Mall in Boca, and they've got an El Camino that opened.
I need to get over there.
Fiolina's. There's a couple other places that I've never really heard of.
I think there's a Pub Belly sushi going in there.
Pub Belly is might be going in there.
The only ones I know, I think it's Fiolina and El Camino that are open.
I thought there was two others, and one was something that was from. Again, this shows you how much.
And also, like I said, I've been out of town, so I'm like.
Where you been?
Oh God.
Where'd you go?
September, I was in France.
And
then I was in
North,
Charleston.
South, Paris?
All over Paris, South.
You went to Morocco, and you almost got in that earthquake.
I didn't make it to Morocco.
It's interesting.
I was.
Don't do a tour. They sort of. We did it, so we saw like 13 or 14, maybe more in like 9 days. So like you're just running around a lot. You don't get to see that much.
Yeah.
And we also went when the earthquake happened. So that was a good time.
That's
always a great time.
Interesting.
But it's a wonderful country and there's a lot going on there. And I've also been to France, and France is fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you drink much champagne?
We went into Champagne.
Oh, is Champagne great?
One of my goals when we started planning this trip, I told my boyfriend, I said, I want to drink champagne in Champagne.
Yeah,
that's a good bucket list item.
He's like, well, all right, we got to figure this out. And so we found this day trip from Paris, and we went to Champagne.
Nice.
And it was fantastic. So yeah, that was wonderful.
Nice.
but yeah, we were there. Then I was in Charleston. I was in New Orleans, and then we were just in.
Two of my favorite
Um,
food
Oh, New
towns.
Orleans
Let's
is
talk.
amazing.
Wait, let's talk Charleston because
I've not done Charleston. I've
it's
heard
been a
great things.
while. Can you
So
give any
good.
advice if anybody happens to be Charleston's one of those places you could do it as a nice weekend trip.
Yep,
if
we
you-
did Thanksgiving there.
Yeah.
Hands down, my favorite food experience while we were there was at Circa 1886.
Mhm.
Okay.
It is definitely more of like white tablecloth, like a fine dining experience. Our server was like, it just was the best experience.
I just
The food
love
was
walking up and
insane.
down the Battery there,
Yeah,
and
it's a
the King
great-
Street is the big main
Great,
drag.
great, great city. If you like food, it is such a good, and it's beautiful around Christmas
Oh,
time.
it's
The big hotel called, I think it's the
the Peninsula. No,
the
it's some-
Charleston
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I'm blanking on it right now, but they have this whole like snow setting. Like they actually have fake snow coming down at night.
Oh, wow.
And they have this gorgeous like I don't know, courtyard type of an area where you
Nice.
can go and it snows and it was
very
it was
festive for
beautiful.
the holidays.
It was beautiful.
Did you make it to it's on the outskirts a little bit, a lower key place, but it's called Leon's Chicken and Leon's Poultry and Oysters.
Nope.
I love it. It was in it used to be a service, auto repair garage, but they
Oh.
converted into like this trendy restaurant. Great place to go for weekend brunch. And their specialties are oysters
and
grilled
chicken.
and raw, bubbly, champagne, and fried chicken. And
Okay.
a really casual place. And they cap it off with soft serve ice cream as their dessert specialty.
Okay.
It is a
I-
lot of fun, and the food is great.
That's a good I'll have to add that
And
to
I
my
will
list.
anybody who's going to Charleston, I always recommend. It's kind of off the beaten track, not one of the downtown tourist places, but a great spot for food lovers. Leon's Poultry and Oysters.
I have
So
to remember
that's
that.
that's the
And you said it was
Charleston.
an old converted
like an auto garage,
okay.
like a repair shop.
That's
And so they
pretty
have the
cool.
garage doors that pull up and down.
On that same note, we went to a place called Church and Union.
Okay.
Have you heard of it? I
That-
think there's one in Nashville too.
Okay.
And it is an old church. And when you go in there, it still has the beautiful like mosaic glass windows, but it's like real. I think the owner is one of the guys who won Top Chef.
Okay.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but that was a really cool
Nice
place.
place.
Very like kind of kitschy, little
Yeah.
it was cool. I liked
I
that
always
there.
like restaurants that set up shop in former churches.
something, yeah.
There's one in
I didn't know that
Or-
was an often done thing. That's interesting.
No, I mean I've seen it before, and I've also seen it at a former bank in Lawrence,
Yep.
Kansas. There's a famous restaurant that it was the old central downtown bank, and it's like they set up a private room in what used to be the safe deposit vault
Oh, that's cool.
boxes. It's really that's one of the.
I like hotels that do that too. Like in
Yeah.
old banks, or we stayed in a hotel. I think it was in New Orleans. That's an old jail.
Oh yeah,
I think
I might have been
I
there
don't
before they
remember the name of
converted
it.
it.
What the heck? What are people
I had
doing?
a couple of jazz.
We
fest
stayed around the
experience.
corner
I
from
don't wanna-
Bourbon Street when I went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was
People are-
it was
are
close
fun.
to that, but I can't remember that.
That's all right. Tell me about New Orleans. I haven't been there in 4 years, almost 5 years, and I love it there so much.
I
That's another
love
great
New
city.
Orleans.
That's another great city.
Was that your first time there? or you've been
No,
multiple-
actually, we went twice this year in
Oh,
2023.
good for you.
Both times. Well, one time we went for French Quarter Fest, which
Nice.
was super fun. Had a great dinner of Sylvain,
Mm.
fabulous restaurant.
Okay.
And the second time we went was for like a friend's birthday. We were there with a group of people. We didn't really do much besides like Bourbon Street.
Have you been to La Compère Lapine, which is Nina Compton's
Yep.
restaurant,
I
and
haven't
she
been,
cut her
but-
teeth here in Miami?
I haven't been, but I know of it. But
It's great. It's a
there's
great
too many
restaurant.
restaurants there. It's
Well,
like
New Orleans
impossible.
is-
to,
No,
like,
there's not too many
so-
restaurants. There's not enough
Not
time.
enough time.
That's the problem.
Not enough time. You have to go and like for like a long weekend. It's
Great,
just,
great
it's
place.
so
I'm
much
hoping to
good
get
food.
there soon myself. It's been way too long, and that is my happy place.
Yes.
Between
It's just
Music,
music all
Music,
Food
the food,
and
the people are
booze.
great. There's like a
Music at
vibe.
all hours too. Like you can wake up and go to breakfast, and there's already people on the street at like 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, playing
Yep.
music on the
And
street.
wherever you get food, it's freaking amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the New Orleans. That concludes the travel portion of the
Yeah, I know. I was like,
lunchbox
wait a
today.
second, we gotta get back
Um,
to the South Florida.
But we're back in South Florida. It's peak season. You said you've been absent, so you maybe haven't checked that. But I know you. You've been around
I've-
last season. Del Rey. I mean, man, a lot of new places. Always
Yeah.
pop up. What do you think of Le Colonial, which is the Vietnamese?
I was just gonna say that
yeah.
I really have had some fabulous experiences
too.
at like Colonial. I do know people that have said that they haven't, and that's to be, that happens with many restaurants as they're within their first couple years, like finding their footing. Personally, my experiences there have been fantastic every time.
I love the build out. I love
It's
the
gorgeous.
bar. It's built like in 1920s French colonial
that's cool.
style,
Yeah,
Saigon.
it's beautiful.
But
They
it's
have
Vietnamese.
French
Well,
Vietnamese, yeah.
French and
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese
It's like-
with
Okay.
more Americanized. Like they
Oh, that's
don't really
interesting.
punch up the flavors of Vietnam so much,
But
so you
there
don't
is
get
that
the fish sauce.
you get that heat. Like there's some spice
some of the dishes.
in some of the dishes.
Some of the
That's-
dishes.
I'm sensitive to spice, so what I find spicy,
Me,
you
you
probably
can bring it
don't.
on.
Yeah, he
What
doesn't.
I say is spicy is probably not
Yeah.
spicy to you
And
at all.
the thing is, unlike Deck 84, which is the premier casual,
Yeah.
come from the beach in your flip flops and shorts and
You can't
hang
do
out
that
on
at,
the
like, Colonial.
intracoastal and
Oh,
get.
they do. They
have a dress
actually.
code.
Oh
This-
wow, my
Dress code.
wife would be
They
impressed.
turn
She
people
loves it.
away
They
if you
will.
come in your shorts or
That's
your flip
interesting.
flops, which is an interesting dynamic because
I know,
Del
in
Rey,
South
a lot of
Florida.
people, even the ones with money,
Yeah,
they don't like to be told you have to
Yep.
dress in a certain way,
Right.
but they
Yep.
are kind of sticklers for
That's
their.
interesting.
And I appreciate that because if you want to create a certain
Yeah.
vibe and say, you can maybe sit out and have, they do have some patio, a couple of two tops along
Outside
the
of it, yeah.
sidewalk, and they'll let you have a drink there. But if you're coming inside, they want
That's
the
interesting.
Yeah.
proper shirt with a collar. They want the long pants.
I appreciate
My
it
wife's
too.
the same way. Yeah.
I get it. Like
But again, that's why different
I find
strokes for different
I
folks.
find it interesting.
if that's
And
if you're
Deck
not,
84 is great because they let Defoe in his shorts every time. So
you can walk in deck in a bathing suit off
Yeah.
the beach with your cover up. It's fine. That's the vibe, and that's why people like it there.
and that's
And
why we
that's-
love Del Rey and Atlantic because
We
there's
have
just
so many
something for
variety.
everyone now.
Yeah, so much variety.
We missed the new year and everybody's best new restaurant or best bite. But is there anything that stands out from?
What are you looking forward
and I'm
to
putting
in
you
this
on
year?
the. Oh
You
yeah, you
are?
know what?
Oh my God,
Go
I forgot.
forward.
Well,
instead of
what are you
behind.
look? Well, what are you looking? Not the trends. I hate when they predict because you look back at
I
the trends
can't
and
predict
stupid.
trends. I don't
But
know.
what are you looking forward to from this year in the Boca del Rey area?
I'm actually excited about this restaurant row area. Like I haven't
Okay.
gotten to see the new El Camino, but I hear it's very big
Okay.
and beautiful. I think that is kind of going to be. I think it's going to be a cool. It looks like it's going to be a cool spot, a cool place, especially with a lot of different places you can kind of bounce around the same way you do if you're on the Ave. You have so many different places.
Or
that you
at
can,
Meisner, where
or
Max's
Meisner,
Grill
right?
is,
Exactly.
a
Right.
perennial.
To
But
have something like that over in mid Boca, Central
Yeah,
Boca,
yeah, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
You don't have that.
I think that's cool. I'm excited to see that. What else we've got? I don't think it's going to happen in 2024, but this Sunday Village in Del Rey.
yeah,
we
I
have-
see the cranes. The construction cranes are
But
going.
I read an article that two of the restaurants that are supposedly going in there. One of them is one of my favorite Philadelphia restaurants. One of my favorite Philadelphia restaurateurs, Michael Schulston.
Oh yeah, he
We're
has.
supposed to be getting a double knot. And if
That's
you've been
great.
to Double Knot in Philly, it's one of my favorite places.
Michael Schulson, very talented Philadelphia restaurateur who opened up at one point
in
in the Diplomat Hotel, Monkey Tail,
Oh
which
my
is one of
God.
my favorite
Oh,
restaurants in
favorite.
Broward.
He did Monkey
Favorite.
Tail.
Yeah, but
I
Monkey
was-
Tail
Oh
was
my God, my wife and I
It was the best.
love Monkey Tail.
well, that place was a casualty of COVID.
I was-
it did
I
not
was
it
so
reopen.
was him who
upset.
did Monkey Tail. That
I
place was so
But
fantastic.
I
I
was
am
so
so
upset
happy
that
that
didn't.
Michael Schulson
Yeah,
might be
he's coming
coming
back.
back
That's what
here.
they
Oh
say.
my God,
That's what it is.
And I don't know if you've checked out. Did you check out the new place next to Kira back in the Ray
I
Hotel?
haven't been there yet.
They guess they replaced
Campy.
the what
Ember Grill.
the Ember is gone and they've
And
replaced it with another high end Italian or something.
Campy, and it's supposedly like the sister restaurant to a New York.
Oh, Campanella, which is Campagnola. I'm
Yes.
sorry, which
And
is
this one is Campy. CAMPI.
they make it shorter
Yes.
and more
Sure, yeah.
peppy for the South Florida market.
I haven't been yet.
I've heard some okay things about it. I have not been up there yet, but I'll have to put it on my list with all these other
I know. I
New
have a
York
list.
import
Such
Italian
a list.
places like Rayo's, which
list.
just opened. Which I call me a cynic, but I'd rather go to a restaurant that instead of the imports. Like I went to Carbone earlier this year, last year.
Yeah.
It's already been a year.
I know.
And I just found it overpriced. It was, gorgeous build out, very good service, but I just thought it's overpriced for what you're getting, and the
Yeah.
food wasn't all that. Some of the dishes were very good. I'd rather go to a place,
Like a local.
like a local. Anthony's Runway 84 did their redo in
Yep,
Fort Lauderdale.
I still need
It's-
to get there.
It's
I've heard amazing
fantastic,
things.
and it's half the price of Rayo's
Right.
and Prezzo for comfort food.
Yep.
I mean, we got to put in the
You
kind
know-
word for Rapoport and Ed Pozzoli.
I do love prezzo. I love prezzo.
And they got some great dishes and great value.
If we're talking Italian,
yeah,
there's a place in Delray called La Sorelle. They also have a Boca location. Family owned, small, like, and I just went for the first time.
Oh, that was your first time? I've been there at least 3 or 4 times.
Oh my God, it's
16 loved the
so
place.
good.
Let me tell you a pro tip: if you like pizza, go to La Sorelle in Delray Beach for happy hour there, and they do a bar pizza, like an individual pizza. I don't know if they make it gluten-free for you. I'm sorry, but it's an excellent pizza for a happy hour.
That's good to know.
They do a nice job. The sisters that own it.
Yep.
I think they opened up a third location.
Yeah, there's 3 locations. There's the downtown Delray, and then there's a Boca one that's in Meisner or near Meisner, and then another place. I haven't been to either of the Boca.
I think they just opened one a little bit further north, maybe. I'm not even sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be in Boynton or Lake Worth or something.
Well, good for them.
But the first one was Boca, then they came Delray, and they do a nice job.
It was
But again, if you're on the east side, you got La Sorelle. West side, you got prezzo. It's all good.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no shortage of great Italian food
in South Florida.
Let me, before we go to our next break, and you can stick around for one more.
I can stick around for as long as you want me to.
Okay. Well, let's do. I got to put in the final good word. This is it for Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival.
Oh my God, I'm going.
Yes.
Well,
I'm actually going to an event tonight.
Which one?
The cooking class with
Very good.
At Sis Trunk.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. That should be
nice.
nice. Is it like a pasta maker?
No, not the pasta. It's Flurby and
Chef
tapas.
Sazon.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep.
Montes. George Montes.
Yep.
Very
so good.
Good guy. We had him on the show last year. I'm going to one of those fancy
Union
dinners
Kitchens
tonight. I'm going to Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, where visiting chef Vinny Semino from Cleveland is coming in.
Nice.
And I love Union Kitchen andBar. If you haven't been there yet,
you should get down there. It's
one of my favorite places in Broward now. It is run by a lovely couple who actually met while working at the Boca Resort at one of the high-end restaurants there. Roberto is the sommelier.
I know Roberto.
He runs the front of the house. Christy is his wife. Peruvian background. And also, she grew up in New Jersey, but really talented chef. They're hitting on all cylinders. I'm going to be at that one tonight. I tell you what, go to vlfoodwine.com because most of the big events are sold out.
Everything. The Grand Tasting sold out.
Grand Tasting is sold out. Even the VIP sold out months ago. There are still, I believe, a few tickets left for the Thursday night inaugural Asian-themed walk and roll event. It's going to be at the Backyard in Hamarshi. We're going to be there doing a live show to kind of pump up the volume a little bit. But go online, vlfoodwine.com. Check out what still has availability. And go experience it because they do a great job.
They do, yeah. This is actually my first year going.
Okay, nice. I'll see you Saturday. I'm out there all day.
I'll be there Saturday, and then Sunday they have that free picnic in the park
for family day.
If anybody wants to bring out their kids,
thank you. She's a natural because I keep forgetting to mention that.
Yeah, and that's free. Like you don't have to buy a ticket.
And that's all ages.
Exactly.
That's all ages.
21 and up.
Everything else is age restricted because it's a wine festival, but on Sunday, again, at that Las Olas Beachside
Food
Park,
trucks,
A1A, Las Olas, no tickets,
activities.
kid-friendly activities, food trucks, also hands-on demonstrations and some other things. That's going to be a perfect time for the family, and the weather is supposed to be beautiful.
To have good weather.
Yeah. Weather should be nice Sunday.
Should be good.
Saturday may rain.
VLFoodWine.com. Again, looking forward to all the events this week. Great job, Phil and Kate.
When we get back, more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox right here from Rapoport Restaurant Group's Burt and Max is here in West Delray.
Great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop. It's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Back on the Lunchbox with Shayna Wizoff. Take a bite out of Boca. Take a bite out of South Florida podcast. Let's talk about the pod. How's it been going? Because you sat down with me. I can't believe it. It's been like 6 months already, right?
I think it was May.
May.
It was
really?
May that
I've
we
watched all
started
Talk
it.
the time.
I don't know. I don't even know. How
And I
many
had a
months
fun
ago.
time. We
It was
did a
fun.
double session.
I
don't
know
know if
because
you
we
got any
couldn't stop
feedback.
talking. No, I did have a lot of great feedback. It's been good. It's been good.
Where do people find this if they want to watch you?
Everywhere. Apple, Spotify. Just search "Take a Bite Out of South Florida." It is available on all the podcast
And you've
platforms.
been talking with foodies, chefs, restaurateurs.
An event people, like different food and wine events going on in the area. The most recent one we did was with Chef Blake Malatesta and Ali Kaufman, who's the founder of Space of Mine and the Community Classroom Project. Which
Is Blake still at the wine room?
He is.
Okay.
Blake's at the wine room, but he's also the founding chef for this nonprofit called the Community Classroom Project. So they're doing a big fundraiser event in Delray called Pub at the Hub. It's a Mardi Gras theme, and if anyone knows Blake, he is from Louisiana. So Louisiana themed food is his bread and butter.
We like everybody from Louisiana.
Yep.
We like all things
As
Louisiana.
we were talking about New Orleans earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an event on January 20th. Fundraiser. It's a fundraiser for the Community Classroom Project, which they just built this huge commercial kitchen, and they're going to start all this great programming with cooking classes and dinners, and so it's a fundraiser for that. But I brought them on to the podcast. We talked about that. We talked about the food involved with it and everything.
Again, do you try to drop them regularly, like every couple of weeks, or has it been more sporadic?
I think it's gonna be more sporadic.
Okay.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah. No, we do this every weekday, and
You
I don't
guys
even
are
know
better on
how.
this.
It's like we just keep going forward. Just for people who don't know you, Shayna, just tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you get into food and the whole
food game.
blogging scene? Yeah.
It's funny that what I do now. Actually, if you talk to my parents, they would tell you I was the pickiest eater as a kid. I ate nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even let my food touch on the plate. I used different forks for different things. I was the
See,
pickiest.
I was the opposite. I don't know if you can tell, but I eat everything.
Eater. Like, when I started the blog and I started eating all these, like, I remember when I was eating like octopus, my dad's like, "You ate what?" Like at first they were just like, "This is really different for you," but okay, good, go for it. But no, I started Take a Bite Out of Boca a little over 12 years ago.
Wow.
When I moved to Florida, I grew up in New Jersey. Moved to Boca.
What exit?
36.
Sorry,
36
I
off the
couldn't resist.
Parkway, exit 9 off the expressway.
Okay, good. Yeah, everybody in Jersey knows
Yeah,
their
that's,
exit.
that's where we're from.
Yes.
Get by your exit. No, my bubby, my grandmother lives here in Boca. So I've been coming to Boca my whole life. Eventually decided to move here. Started the blog not long after moving here, and just kind of, I don't know, immersed
One thing
myself.
leads to
Yeah,
another.
one thing left. I volunteered a lot with different food and wine festivals in the beginning, Boca Bacchanal, Palm Beach Food and Wine, and just kind of got myself acclimated. Met a lot of people in the food industry, chefs, restaurants.
You know what I regret? I still have not gone to the Palm Beach Food and Wine Festival in December.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Are you involved?
I'm not so much anymore. Well, this year I went to one event as a guest of one of the sponsors,
Okay.
a
And the
liquor
executive
sponsor,
director
and
we sat down with at Max's Grill is actually married to the
Lindsay
great
Alford.
chef. To yes. And I'm blanking now. I'm sorry.
David Sabine.
Yeah, David is the husband, and of course Lindsay just recently shut the regional, which
I
is a
know.
shame. But she's
But
still got Honeybell
Honeybell
going.
is, and if you
PGA
haven't
National
been
Resort.
at PJ, so you have Honeybell by Lindsay, and then you have the Butcher's Club, which is Jeremy Ford,
which is fantastic if you have a trust fund
Yes.
or just hit
That's
the
the
lottery.
place I keep hearing
It is.
about. Yeah.
If you have a special occasion and you're okay with spending a little bit, like, it is so good.
I went with my college roommates' family spends time down here in Palm Beach Gardens at PGA every winter. So I found a sponsor in them, and we went to.
Oh yeah, that's how you got to do it.
Besides Jeremy inviting me to the media, but
Yeah.
the friends and family dine when they first opened, which was fantastic. And
It-
I got to give props to Dallas Wynn, who
She's great.
she is so phenomenal, such a great talent, such a great person. She started off as Jeremy's pastry chef back when Stubborn Seed
Stubborn
first
Seed,
opened,
right.
and Dallas is now running the show
She's
as
fantastic. Their whole
executive
team.
chef. Is great.
They
Yeah,
have a
Jeremy,
great
everything he
team.
touches turns to gold. I
I
love
know.
him. I love
I
Butcher's
will,
Club.
and if he ever watches this, I will say he was my chef crush on Top Chef. Loved him. Loved him.
He's my chef crush now too.
I
Just because
mean-
I want to go to all his restaurants
Yes.
and eat.
I
He's
haven't
dreamy.
been to.
Oh, and he's
Stubborn
going to be
Seed.
doing an event tomorrow night with our friend
with
Paula
Paula
De
and
Silva
Adrian. Oh, I know.
at Burlock Coast. I think that's
love-
finally a sellout. We had Paula on the show
Last
last week.
Those
And
Paula and Adrian, they both are.
yeah,
They were on
phenomenal.
the. Adrian was on the podcast.
yes. Oh,
We
great.
did a great show at
Yep.
Burlock.
Yeah, she came over and is now working again with Paula at the Ritz Fort Lauderdale
Yep,
at
at Burlock
Burlock Coast. At the time, she was helming the kitchen at 3030, the Marriott Harbor Beach
Yep.
Resort, where so many great talents came out of that
Yeah.
kitchen under Dean James
Dean
Max.
James, yep.
But, Pushkar Marath, who's now up at Stage, and
Yep,
he opened
and-
Ella. I don't know if you know Pushkar. I
I
love
do.
him.
He's great.
He's great. And
Every time
Jeremy,
I see him, he's like, "Why haven't you come to my restaurant yet?" And I am so ashamed of that.
you should go.
I know.
Because
I need
there's
to
a
go.
lot on his menu that
I think
is
I think it would be
healthy and gluten free, and either one that you go to. Pushkar is a tremendous talent, and we're just blessed to have so
we
much
have
local.
like great local talent. Like the
We
chef
do.
talent here in South Florida is
it's massive.
You know what ticks me
really
off more than
good.
anything is when I go onto my own Facebook group. I'm Dr. Frankenstein. I created a monster, and you get all these freaking people from the Northeast griping like, "There's no good this here.
Ugh,
There's no good
I
restaurants
know.
here." It's like, you are freaking blind. Get out. Go about. Just do a little bit of research and follow some of the advice of people on Let's Eat South Florida,
Yeah.
or go to Shayna's Take a Bite Out of Boca's site, and you'll find some
Yep.
great places. We have tremendous talent
Yeah.
here.
the
We have tremendous restaurant groups.
Well, the
Rapoport,
diversity is
really do.
amazing.
I mean, the
Yeah.
job they do here at all the Rapoports is, contemporary, sophisticated American comfort classics here.
yes.
And then if you want, some of the more cutting edge stuff, that's all out there.
Yeah.
There's no
Well, that's what I
shortage.
love about Rapoport's actually. Like Burt and Max's, Max's Grill, Decade 4. It's like consistency.
Yep.
Max's Grill, it's crazy.
35 years.
I've been, and I'm 35, and I feel like I've been going there
You
since I
popped out
was
of the
0
womb
years
and
old.
went right there.
Because, like I said, my grandmother here is in Boca. We've been
Right.
coming to Boca since I think my parents put me on a plane when I was like a month old.
Wow.
Like I've been coming here since I was 0 years old, and we've always gone to Max's. I have like my earliest memories are like lunch at Max's Grill, ice cream in Meisner. Actually, I literally have these memories of being a kid, going to lunch, and then there must have been a shoe store. Like I always remember getting a pair of shoes. Lunch and shoes. It just
And
made me,
Max's,
that's what it is.
as
But
Burt,
Max's has been
it's the
It's a
only
staple,
original
yeah.
tenant that's been there the whole time since the day that Meisner Park opened.
Yep.
We were talking
Yeah.
with Burt about that last
Yeah.
show, what we did there, and that's a tremendous
That's
accomplishment, especially in Boca, because God
Everything.
knows nobody
things
is
come-
anything
oh,
or
yeah, things
picky
come
in Boca
as-
Raton, right?
right. Of course not. No, but it is. You're right. Like the turnover, especially in that little
Yeah.
area where Max's
Yeah.
is, like those
Junior's
like those
Cheesecake
3, 4.
couldn't make it there.
Right.
If Junior's
Oh,
can't
really?
make it,
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
geez.
I don't even think that lasted a year.
that was a year. That was, I don't know what went wrong there. I really
don't
enjoyed it because I'm from Brooklyn, but I guess the Brooklynites.
yeah.
Uh,
I remember going for lunch. Actually, I think my mom went with me, and we liked it. We really
That's good.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I sat
That's
down
good.
with the founder like the first week it opened, and I had a beautiful piece of straight up classic New York Junior's cheesecake, and I also had something not keto friendly, but it was a burger that he does on 2 potato latkes. Or it
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
even a burger; it was brisket. It was a brisket
Oh.
sandwich instead of bread.
potato lock.
they use
That's
potato
genius.
pancakes.
That's
It's
interesting.
genius.
That's
Talked to my
delicious.
cardiologist. He was like, "What are you
I mean,
doing?"
not healthy, but delicious.
Yeah.
I bet.
Shayna,
that-
Shayna Wizoff, thank you so much for coming out today.
Thanks for asking me
I
to
look
be
forward
here.
to seeing you at the
Yeah.
Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival at some
We'll be
point
there.
this week. Before we let everybody go, I got to just put in the good word for our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse. It's 2024, folks. You know what that means? They are celebrating their 75th anniversary
Wow.
at Tropical Acres. And you talk about Max's Grill and 35 years staying power.
75.
75 years, Broward County, Griffin Road location, 2500 Griffin Road. The Studiali family has owned it for a few generations. They do a tremendous job. They are masters of hospitality.
Well, we're talking about
Great
hospitality.
value.
Is a Tuesday and a half
Half price wine
bottle
night
of wine.
every Monday and Tuesday at Tropical Acres. You get your half price wine. You could also go into the bar from 4:30 to 6:30 and get your half price drinks on any cocktail in the house, including the premium liquors. I get my Belvedere martinis there for $8. I can't.
That's
It's
a
just
great
a great deal. And then you get in, you go into the dining room, you get a half price bottle of wine, you get a piece of prime rib.
Nice prime rib.
And it's unbelievable. You get out of there for less than, forget half the price. Like sometimes it's like a third of a price of some of these highfalutin
yeah, for sure.
steakhouses, which we
Yeah.
didn't talk about. The new Gallagher's and some of these other places
Oh, yeah,
along
we
Glades
do.
Road.
I mean, we could talk about food forever.
We could
this
talk
is what
for
we've,
hours.
we've discovered this.
But I love to talk about, and better yet, go to Tropical Acres because of the value and the hospitality and all the great deals. They also have the loyalty rewards club. For every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get your punch card punched, and then you get the 13th one on the house. So many great things about Tropical Acres. And don't forget, Valentine's Day, Wednesday, February 14th. It's never too early to get your reservations in the books. Give them a call, 954-989-2500, 954-989-2500. Tropical Acres. All right, Shayna, this might be a little bit jarring for you. This might get me disinvited from any future podcasts. But this is a dainty
a
bite
bread
for me.
leg.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not a big bite.
This
for you.
is
No, this is
Usually
going
I
to get you
do-
invited to everything.
usually
this is
do-
Genius. What a
I
smart
usually
idea.
do a monster bite of cramming a full half sandwich in my mouth. That is quite remarkably gross. Even Burt Rapoport himself filmed it last time, attempted to post it on Let's Eat, and the other admins said, no, that is not safe
Not allowed.
for children or work. But what I'm going to do is with their keto burger that's now on the menu, instead of using the lettuce, I'm going to make a pickle burger.
That's
A
smart.
little bit of bacon and cheese on it. Again, keto friendly, no carbs, and I'm going to cram it all down in one bite as we say goodbye. And this one's for you, Mom. Enjoy every sandwich and enjoy, even if it's made with pickles.
Rich gentleman